Chronic migraine is 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for adults with migraine with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents, on average, 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Ask your doctor and visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
My three-row SUV gets 3 kids to 3 different sports.
Mom, let's go!
Luckily, ExxonMobil Synergy Supreme Plus Premium Gas is 3 times cleaner for better mileage.
Go on, find a station at Exxon.com. Synergy Supreme Plus gas compared to Synergy regular gas and port fuel-injected engines. Benefits based on continuous use and may vary.
Joe, I know you hate social media.
It's not that I hate it. I think it's problematic.
I'm being congratulated on Twitter by Biff Loman, who says, "That was very good, Chris Reavers. Rather than giving out incorrect information, you chose not to answer."
Pat?
I missed that. I was just plugging in.
Where is he over here?
He's got to sit there so he can watch the game.
Be able to watch the game.
He panicked when I had golf on.
What? But the good thing is watching it with the sound down. Have we had any circling yet today?
I have not noticed any circling.
There might not be any Twins fans there with a sign, huh?
I had to do this today.
Okay.
I became ever increasingly more fascinated with the Australian cricket.
Okay, what's the latest update?
Well, them arriving at the airport crying
They were
apologizing to their parents. Their $1 million contracts were torn up.
They had big contracts?
Here, Reavers, give Patrick your analogy.
With Necro.
This would be...
Oh, yeah, Necro goes on TV.
With a tool belt on and an electric sander.
Yeah, right.
But the analogy would be Kelly would have to resign and apologize to the nation. Herbeck would have to he'd be kicked off the team and have his contract torn up.
I don't think the Kelly version was involved in this. The manager was.
No. But Pat
he quit out of shame anyway. He should have known.
Lehman quit?
Yes.
He did quit.
He resigned.
Yes. I didn't know he quit. Okay.
And so it'd be Kelly'd have to quit. Herbeck would be have his contract torn up and be banned
because he attempted to step on the Emery board.
Right. Yes. Necro would be banned and have to surrender his contract. The Twins, the president of the Twins, whoever it was in '87 when Necro did that, he'd have to apologize to the country.
Yes.
And then Jim Pohlad, I think, was Jim Pohlad. Carl was running it. But
and then the Twins would have to issue a statement saying, "We hope to earn back the trust of the American public." Look here, I saved it for you.
Okay.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's so who's trying to win back the trust? The Australian national team?
Yes, they're disgraced. And they're sobbing. They came to the airport and they're crying, and there's thousands of media people there. And I think it's a ray of hope that somebody still clings to their ethic.
Have they explained their motive here?
Well, they cheat.
But why did if it's this big of a crime and they're willing to cry over it, why did they want to do it?
That's a great question.
It would have been false glory, right? In that sport, it is an amazing sport. Though I told you, you tell the ump you fouled the ball and you didn't.
Yeah.
It's an international incident. Mm-hmm. It is fantastic. Yeah, look it up, folks. It's the Daily Mail has great coverage, do they?
Oh yeah, the Sun, the Daily Mail, every tabloid in the world has this.
Okay,
or the cricket playing world.
Disgraced David Warner arrives back in Australia after cricket cheating scandal before his wife Candace burst into tears live on TV.
Oh yeah, they were all sobbing.
Well, she's probably living in She's got some nice ocean view down there.
Well, these guys
Indian
are the
Ocean.
stars of their country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're the Tom Brady's of their country.
Wow, this is fantastic. Yes, it's
There's
It's
no
great.
hope. There's no hope for you to have. You're not going to have a laser-like focus today, are you?
Well, no, sure I will. There's breaks between pitches and stuff like that. I'm very sad, and Rusty Staub has died.
I
Did
saw
you
that.
see that?
Yeah, 73.
Remember, he was he was a hero in New York. So you're a hero in New York. We know everything about you. He was a gourmet cook.
He had his own restaurant.
He had his own restaurant.
Oh,
yeah, he was a
really?
gourmet cook, and here's a great quote in the
You
Times.
think he ate himself to
That's
death?
basically, they said he weighed 300 pounds. Yeah. He was rather large.
Pat,
but,
would he have been the first superstar Montreal Expos player?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an all-star. The first 3 years he played.
Beloved.
Did Mock have him?
Legrand. Oh yeah, Legrand Orange.
Oh, yeah.
Legrand Orange, they called it.
What year did the Mets win the pennant with
Mock
him?
might not have had him. Mike might have
69?
been on there.
69.
Here's the quote, and I know the feeling here. Here's the quote.
Because you're a gourmet chef. Right?
Staub was also seen displaying his cooking technique. By the way, the one thing the New York Times, no matter what you say about it, still does great.
Would you please defend me? What have I said about the New York Times?
Obits.
Best obituaries.
That's the best obituaries in the world.
Mm-hmm. At best obits. Staub was also seen displaying his cooking techniques on television, but his love of food made it challenging to keep his weight down. It's hard, he told the Times in 1985. I'll go into my favorite Italian restaurant, and there's this risotto dish that I just love. It's got gravy and porcino mushrooms, and I say, not this time, but every time I go there, I have to get it.
Can you imagine Rusty Staub and Rookie doing a show together?
I wonder what his name was.
I don't even
Well, the
know.
Times would have that if you
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
Times
I would
open.
imagine.
Because Rusty's for the hair color.
Daniel Joseph Staub was born. No wonder he loved to eat. He was born in New Orleans.
New Orleans, that's right.
April 1st, 1944. He signed with the Houston Colt 45s in September 1961 out of Jesuit High School in New
I'll
Orleans.
be damned.
But he was first became a hero in New York. I mean, in Montreal, Legrand Orange.
When they played at Jarry Park.
Jarry Park, yes. Yes, it was.
Reavers thinks he knows baseball.
He could hit, but the old Dundas Dukes that had all those great big fat guys, he might have been the slowest guy on that team.
Oh,
He
my
was
God.
slow. Man, he was slow. Fantastically slow.
And with the hair color, he would have fit in with the Duke's orange uniforms, too.
Mm-hmm.
What time did this
He's
Twins game?
safe, Buck.
What time?
Get back in the dugout,
Here we
Buck.
go.
He's
Here we
safe.
go.
He's in mid-season form.
Talking to the TV.
Well, the season has started and we're already having the ump. You agree with me? You either got to look out there and say, challenge it or not. You can't go out and stand in front of the dugout for 30 seconds and wait for some dork.
Well, that
to
didn't
look-
take too long.
No, but
What
it's
time
still
did this
stupid.
game start?
2:05.
Oh, it's moving along
Is
at a
it got a
sprightly
nice clip?
pace.
It's got a nice clip.
Well, the fact that nobody's doing any. Oda Rizzi has been 3-2 on the ballpark, but he has quite the mix of pitches, that's for sure. But that high fastball for which he's famous, he hasn't been able to throw for strikes.
I've never been in this Baltimore Park.
Do you know that the first pitch of this season, anywhere, home run, Ian Happ down in for the Cubs down in Miami, first pitch, boom.
4 games on TV today.
Yes, boy. Well, and counting this one.
Yeah.
You know who really disgusts me though?
Ooh,
Kyle Schwarber.
who's that?
He's skinny. The fat left fielder from the Cubs. He's skinny.
Oh,
He's no fun when he's skinny.
he got skinny, huh?
Yeah, he got skinny. It was fun seeing him waddle around out there in left field. Now
Didn't
he's
make him.
skinny.
He still had a couple of errors in today's ball game too. Playing
Yeah, well,
left
he did.
field.
Damn near killed himself once, right?
did.
Ran
Right
into
into the
fence
wall.
again.
Have you seen a game in Miami?
No.
I want to. That looks like a neat park.
At that ballpark?
Yeah.
They're having a big feud down. The home run structure that they built last year. Some people want to take it down. They think it's an eyesore, and others say, "Well, the whole place is so funky. You might as well leave something."
What's a
else."
home run structure?
I don't even know what it is. It's another design that they put out there in the outfield. So for the All-Star game last year. So
I got news for you, Joe. If you want a ticket to a game there, I'm guessing you're going to be able to
today
get
they
one.
might have been close to sold out. The next 80, you're fine. By the way, their opening homestand, Cubs But this is how smart baseball is, by the way. We're going to be up here freezing to death. Everybody else is freezing to death. They got Miami home for 10 games.
That doesn't make sense.
Does not make sense. They got the Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Mets for the 10-game homestand.
They don't even leave home for the first 10 games.
No, they're home they're home to start the season.
And there's nothing else that goes on in that ballpark, is there? That's exclusively the Marlins.
No, it's just stupidity. Basically, I was told 7-8 years ago, their schedule takes no accounting for weather anymore. They don't do it. They just throw out the schedule, and whatever happens, happens. And if you get snowed out, rained out, frozen out, we already Detroit, Cincinnati, the traditional opener, the old historic opener, they got rained out or snowed out or something today. Detroit didn't get to play.
Well, it's March 29th.
Yes.
Are you impressed with Karl Anthony Towns?
That was a nice game. Mm-hmm. He was.
Why can't he do that every night?
Yeah, well, that's what. No, actually, the Timberwolves fans are convinced if we just throw him the ball more, if Tibbs had just had him throw him the ball more often, he'd average 56 points a game.
You know what we discovered, though, Patrick, was Mo Williams. That was the 52-point game was the dawn of the Joe Soucheray question. Why can't he do that every night?
Is that right?
Yes.
That was kind of, yeah, well, a lot of nights, Mo played about 10 minutes.
Right.
And how that was a miracle. Him having 52 points was a miracle. So.
We're going to take a short timeout.
All right. Who are these dorks?
Oh my God! I lost the bet.
Told
the
ya.
bet.
Told ya.
I was hoping that you were going to let the song establish, and you came in on the very last word before the drums kicked in.
Okay.
It's Minneapolis' own Replacements, Patrick.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Man,
Who are these dorks?
This has got to be 15 years ago.
And I said to
more like
Reavers,
30.
I said to Reavers off the air, he's going to jump in before the song even establishes itself.
Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't do anything for me.
That's okay. It does for everybody else.
Doesn't do much for me.
Nobody's really concerned about your musical tastes.
They are unique.
Yeah.
I'm still getting complaints about 2 weeks ago, his musical guest, Ernest Tubb. There was
what? Really?
Yeah, people they don't really like that. They don't mind country. They just don't like.
They don't like it twangy.
The only thing
country.
I didn't like about your Ernest Tubbs thing was you said his version of I wish I could remember which one. It was a Hank Williams song, and you liked his version better.
Ooh.
It was an old Hank Williams standard, and I don't even remember what it is now. But Ernest is cool.
Waltzing Across Texas, maybe? Was that him?
No, was
I
it
think that
Setting
might have
the
been
Woods
Ernest.
on Fire, or Another Man Calls You Daddy, or
something like that.
No, my favorite Friday musical guest nugget that Pat threw out there was when we did Fats Domino, and Pat said, Fats like songs that walked.
Yeah.
He did Walking in New Orleans.
Yeah, I had about 3-4 walking. So I'm walking. That was one of his biggest hits. Was I'm walking. We haven't made our decision on tomorrow's musical guest. I by the way, today's sports person of the day. I didn't consult with you before I selected Karl Anthony Towns. I figured you would approve of that after 56 points.
I'll go with that.
and he kind of poo-pooed it too, didn't he? Like it was no big deal.
Well, he was.
I like that. That's classy.
He plays pretty well when he's been besmirched, when his effort has been besmirched in the previous game. And he didn't do too well against Marc Gasol in the previous game, and I think he took it personally. But the fact that Atlanta doesn't have a center helped too.
The Wild host Dallas tonight. The Timberwolves are at Dallas tomorrow night. The Wild are at Dallas Saturday night.
Wow!
We got a Dallas weekend.
And you know what? Dallas is in a situation as a hockey team that they basically have to.
They got to run the
They
table.
got to sweep our boys to have any chance, and I think they're like 9 points behind them.
I can tell you exactly because we're fact-based.
They're not going to make it.
Well,
the Dallas is not going to make it, but the Blues are back in the picture. Maybe.
yeah, the Blues are 3
They're
points
3 points
behind the
behind
Wild.
us. Yeah, the
Dallas
Blues.
has 86 points. The Wild have 94.
Is there any mathematics scenario in which the Wild could play the Blues again in the first round?
I don't think
I think
so.
it would
Okay.
be impossible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would
That
be
would be
impossible.
fantastic.
Doesn't one play the final one and two plays the next one?
3 plays 2,
3 plays.
It's in each division. 3 plays 2.
Well, that'd be Winnipeg if it ended today.
And then 1 plays one of the wild card teams. Whichever one has the best record plays the worst wild card team.
Mm-hmm.
And then whichever one has the second best record plays the second best wild card team. So the Wild, to not play Winnipeg, basically would have to fall behind the third place team and still go to the fourth place team. Oh, no, Buxton's out. He's not out.
Pat, that was from last year.
Oh.
Baseball Tourette's. He's just prone to random outbursts. Baseball stuff.
Why did they show last year's?
I told you, why should I bother?
No,
hold on.
I can focus.
No, you can't. Because there's 2 parts to this.
I can do 2 things at once.
Take the day off, Pat.
He just stole a base, Patrick. And
Yes,
so what
he
they did was he's got a consecutive base streak.
And they showed his last
The
out.
last time he was thrown out. Well, what should have tipped you off was that the video that they showed from last year, Buxton was wearing a different uniform color.
Well, I don't pay any attention to that crap.
So did Buxton just steal a base?
Oh,
Yes.
my God.
Yeah.
Yes. He's going to steal 40 this year and lead the league.
All right.
That's
Boom. Hot take.
his only trouble is he's got this stiff hitting behind him.
Am I on the air?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's the opener. I'm not going to be like this all season.
Right.
It's the opener. It's the first game.
Are we on
I
now?
was there the first game they ever played at Met Stadium, damn it.
Okay, Grandpa. Thank you. Watch the bobber.
I was in school in where was it? Fulda, Minnesota.
I'll help you here.
Fulda, Minnesota, when they won their first game ever. We all had transistor radios on in Yankee Stadium in April, whatever it was, 1961.
Yep.
We were going to go to the World Series. We were so damn excited. They won the first one. We didn't realize that it's a long season.
Yeah,
They only had 161 to go.
Pedro
back
Ramos.
then they don't.
That's
they
true.
Play
What
62.
was it, 140 something?
Pedro Ramos beat Whitey Ford 6-0.
What was the season then? 152.
60. They raised it to. Well, that's the year they raised it to 162.
See,
Really?
Very odd year though, because the National League played 154. Because they still had 8 teams.
Oh,
They didn't expand till 62.
what the hell?
Yeah, so they played 154. I think they started a week later. Mm-hmm. They stayed in Florida a little longer. So,
Have you been in this ballpark?
oh, many times.
Does that have the open concourse?
Yeah.
Camden Yards was one of the first.
Does it, Kenny?
Yeah.
Camden.
I was actually there the first year it was thrown out.
Camden
never been in this
Yards
ballpark.
is the reason you have.
Everything.
Yes, this is the ballpark, Joe. This is where it all
revolutionized.
They kind of
the
copied it with the new Kaminsky, whatever the hell they call that park.
Well, no, they took the Comiskey, which is now whatever the hell it is.
U.S. Cellular Field.
was the last of the old styles, and then they built this one the next year.
But they have an open concourse
Well, they've
there.
done some work there, yes, but it was originally they built the circle like everybody else did.
Kenny, you know where they played before this stadium?
No, I have no idea where.
Memorial Stadium was called, but it would be as though you were walking into Mac Groveland neighborhood and took a right and went down the street and there was the stadium.
Yes.
Kinda
It was
like-
in the middle of a neighborhood.
like they did with Wrigley.
You know how we so soon forget that the White Sox now play at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it's called?
We're going to be back shortly.
What a
but
kick to the crotch.
now, thanks to our good friends in Owatonna, Minnesota at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal and Your Money Now.
Well, we had some gains on Wall Street to end the week today, not as strong as they could have been. The Dow Jones Industrial Average shed about 150 points in the final 15 minutes of trading. We had an abbreviated week as the market is closed tomorrow, so the Dow ended the week gaining 254 points, closing at 24,103. The NASDAQ Composite rose 114 points, and the S&P 500 gained 35. All three indexes did have gains for the week, but the first quarter came to an end as well, and the Dow Industrials had its first quarterly loss since 2015, down 2.4% for the first 3 months of the year. The S&P 500 is also down for the quarter. The NASDAQ is ahead for the year to date. Amtrak is ending the charter services and special trains it operates on its routes. Bad news for companies that offer specialty and custom rail trips. Amtrak said those operations caused significant operational distraction and sometimes delayed paying customers on its regular scheduled trains. The move will impact the American Association of Private Railroad Car Owners, whose members will no longer be able to run their cars on a special train to the annual convention, planned this year to go from New Orleans to Duluth in September. I'm Bruce Vail with your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Here's John Height.
Thank you, Joe. It's sunny and 39 degrees. Twins-Orioles playing in Baltimore to open the season this afternoon. It's scoreless at this point. Zip there in the middle of the fifth. Jake Odorizzi got 4 innings, 2 hits, and has struck out 5.
Eddie Rosario hit a home run, and that cheap Craig Gentry jumped over the fence and caught it.
And even though the Twins made faces last inning at Country Joe West, he's right on the money with balls and strikes.
Well, that was a strike to Dozier.
Oh, yeah.
What's Dozier complaining about?
And Castro kind of gave him a look, too.
Well, he always does.
Pat,
how the hell does he know?
You have to answer a question for us. We thought Country Joe was retiring last year.
I thought this year was
this is his last year. Okay, because I just remember him taking the selfie at the All-Star game.
He's a good ball and strike umpire. They just like to whine at him.
Yeah, he's got a bad attitude though. I do like him on balls and strikes. So Wild in
his attitude is he the boss.
That's it. Yep.
Here's John Height.
Where's he at? Where? Wild in action.
You're essentially listening to the game on the radio station that doesn't carry the Twins.
Oh, he's watching TV in there.
Well, no, but, we got this commentary.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're not breaking the law, are we?
No, I'm pointing it out as a point of irony.
The Wild, they're in action at home tonight. They'll play Dallas at the Xcel Energy Center.
We really should have the Wild on this station. Those armpit sniffers don't deserve them.
Those armpit sniffers.
Yeah.
Okay. News notes from today. A St. Paul man who pleaded guilty.
Glaring in.
Stop it right there. Can you pause it? Did you pre-write that glaring in? No. Because that sounds like something you would have written down on an envelope. I'm going to use this tomorrow. Yeah. Glaring. That's a great one.
I didn't write the word glaring
I got to tell you.
Okay. Glaring in.
I actually thought of that out of nowhere yesterday. I'm thinking, I got to ask Such that the next time.
I think our problem was we gave as much prep to our debut as Major League Baseball broadcasters as we did our Saturday show.
Well, now keep it going because Reusse weighs in very calmly like the smartest baseball mind in the world, right. Only he gets it wrong, too.
Well, here's the pitch. Boof glaring in. Wide.
No.
I'm sorry, inside.
Inside.
Not wide. Inside, ball.
Mm-hmm. I think he called it a strike.
He did? Didn't he? What's he raising his hand for? It looked like a strike to me. 1-1. Wow. This is not as easy as you think it is when you listen to Gordo all summer.
Okay, that's painful. Turn it down.
Did you also give the count 2 and 3?
Probably.
He did do that. Yes, I recall that.
I probably did.
And we were supposed to.
And that's the fourth out.
We were supposed to do 3 innings. They gave us 1.
They said, get the hell out of here.
Shocking.
They hooked us after 1.
They found out nobody is still listening to the ball game.
News notes from today. The State Fair. What are we away now?
On, John.
Just a few months, right?
Yeah.
The family behind Pronto Pups has purchased the former Robbinsdale Order of the Eastern Star Dining Hall building at the fairgrounds.
I think that's bad juju.
The Robbinsdale OES Dining Hall, long a state fair institution, cited a lack of volunteers, rising costs, and fairgoers changing tastes when it announced recently it would shut its doors at 1415 Underwood Street.
How is a church dining hall going to compete with Mancini's and O'Gara's and Gabe's?
Is it going to be all Pronto Pups or what?
Well, the fair bought the building, then sold it to Greg Carnes. He's the supplier for State Fair Pronto Pup concessions. The corn dog sensation first introduced in the State Fair at 1947 by Jack Carnes. Now, the front of the building will be used as a Pronto Pup retail location, so you can get a Pronto Pup there.
Oh, good.
The rear of the building will be a Pronto Pup production facility that will supply other vendors at the fair with their Pronto Pups.
Okay.
Not only that, the portion of the kitchen, you'll be able to watch them You'll have a
Make the
chance to
Piranha
see
Pump.
how
Here's
70
where we dip it in the
Well, they
jug.
take a weenie and they stick it in
Here's
the
where
stuff.
we put it in the boiler thingamajig.
They're going to show you how
can
they
see
make
it everywhere.
Here's a meathead from Montevideo paying
No.
$5 for something worth $1.
They're going to show you how they make the batter. You'll be able to watch
I don't want to
them
know how they make
the batter.
What the hell?
Are they going to have bleachers?
And cheerleaders?
Come on in, everybody. Watch how we make a puddle dog.
Oh,
or
I
whatever
got to
the hell
admit,
they
I'm
are.
a Piranha Pup guy. I like them better than the corn dogs.
Such, have you ever been in the Coliseum where they run the horses in there? Have you ever been in that building? The Roy and Lee
Yeah,
Rose,
of course.
something.
Many. I've been there many
I
times.
had never, ever been in that building until last Friday night when I went for flat track races.
Oh, yeah.
They ran
Really?
flat track on the concrete.
Really?
It was the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
Well, they used to play hockey in there, Kenny.
Really? So
Yeah,
they
they
used to flood that.
But they ended up, the emissions requirements for the refrigeration system would have been too expensive.
You should have smelled it in there with those big V twins, turning laps in
I'll bet
anger.
that.
It was so awesome. Though. It was a fun night, but boy, did they lay some rubber down on that concrete.
In
My
fact,
goodness.
Pat, I don't know if you answered, but wasn't that place the site of the best Ride with Reusse broadcast?
Yeah, it
was
was.
inside that building. The Bird, Bait, and Buck show Pat was
Bird,
broadcasting
Bait, and
live
Buck.
from.
We've drifted a long way from the Piranha Pup.
Close as I ever came to wanting to just
Right there
end
on
it
the air.
all.
Just ended up.
When I
That's
find,
enough.
you mean the show, or do you mean this
Yeah,
veil of
whichever
tears?
came first.
It didn't matter. Whichever.
Because I decided if I have to end it all, I'm going to write somebody's name down and blame them. It's Soucheray's fault. Goodbye.
We should point out the fair starts now in less than 5 months. Just so you know.
That's right around the corner.
President Trump pitched his infrastructure plan today in Ohio, sort of. In a speech to union workers, the president said infrastructure won't happen until after the midterm elections. He said, I don't think you're going to get Democrat support, and you'll probably have to wait until after the election, which isn't so long down the road. We probably will have to wait until after the election, he said, because the Democrats say don't give him any more wins.
He made a phone call, Pat.
Yeah.
Who'd he call?
I don't know if you heard about this. John had it in the last hour's newscast. He called to congratulate Roseanne on the fantastic ratings.
Did he really?
He did, yes, he did.
Joe had an expression on his face I've never seen before.
Joe was, he was quiet.
You think he ever molested her?
I think he ever
Probably tried to.
Wow. What a clown show that'd be. Huh? Those two going at it, canning apricots.
No.
Some dirty closet and some set in
She
Hollywood.
sounded like she was singing the national anthem.
Oh.
Feel like a couple of polar bears.
Oh, I've got so many lines.
Yeah, stop.
So do I.
There were.
Can't use them. Oh, please.
There were 6,266 craft breweries in the U.S. at the end of 2017. That's up from 5,424 at the end of 2016. And small and independent craft brewers now account for 12.7% of the U.S. beer market.
What?
By volume. But retail-wise, the retail dollar value, they account for even more because their beers cost more.
Wow.
Now, the beer industry's retail dollar value is represented by these craft breweries at about 23.4%.
Mauer just actually pulled a bull.
Mm-hmm. All of this according to the Brewers
Playing the
Association.
role of Patrick as Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was so shocking to see him pull a ball that I had to say something.
Why don't we have Mauer beer?
I don't know.
It might be coming.
We got a lot of Mauer stuff. We should have Mauer beer. Be very bland.
Oh my God. Just relabel Milwaukee's best or something. Just put a sticker over the existing sticker.
You'd take all the fizz out of it and make it just kind of just flat.
Served warm.
Served warm.
But we love them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We love them.
We do.
You can get them.
You can get them.
You can get them.
A Michigan man said a $1.9 million jackpot was all that it took to finally convince him the lottery's not a conspiracy.
Okay.
33-year-old Eric Hartman of Pinckney, Michigan, told Michigan lottery officials he bought a ticket for the Lotto 47 drawing March 14th, despite his status as a lottery skeptic.
You know what? I'm with him. I'm also a lottery skeptic.
He said, up until about 12 days ago, I didn't think anyone ever won the lottery. I thought it was all a big conspiracy. I now have a much different outlook. He matched all the numbers, winning $1.4 million in the jackpot. He said he'll invest some and provide for his family with the rest.
He's looking for it. Oh, maybe not.
Either that or he's just completely lost interest in the show.
Maybe he's not listening.
What?
You.
What happened?
This song.
It's dreadful.
Yeah, I was right.
We all agree.
Kenny's fault.
No, it's not my fault.
Why are you
totally
playing
is.
it? Why are you playing it?
Because he said it's been a long, cruel winter.
It's been a cruel winter. And I was
So
called
John and
Cruel
I started
Summer.
playing Cruel Summer.
said, isn't that cruel a song? But
That's a dreadful song.
Okay.
A Canadian
I could play the Roseanne anthem again.
No.
Okay.
Canadian teenager who bought her first lottery ticket to celebrate her 18th birthday hit the jackpot.
Oh,
we'll get
Two jackpot stories.
You want to turn your mic on?
turn that microphone on.
Attaboy.
Two jackpot stories in a row.
She'll get $1,000 Canadian a week for the rest of her life.
Wow.
Who's her boyfriend?
Charlie
She's
Lagarde.
now got one, I'll tell you that.
Charlie Lagarde was celebrating with a bottle of champagne and a $4 scratch-off ticket earlier
You know
this
what? I
month.
would ease off the throttle. If I could get $1,000 a week, I'd stop any kind of job search, any kind of further education. I would just ease into the $1,000 a week lifestyle.
Only $52,000 a year.
Yeah, that's
Well,
fine.
Canada,
I'd
you get
ease
free
right
healthcare.
into it.
Actually, in American money, too, this would be $775 a week, so I figured out it's about $40,000 a year if you go that way.
Yeah,
That'd be a nice...
make a few cutbacks. We could make that work.
Like not have a house.
Ride a
Wife
horse
can still
instead of a
keep
car.
working.
Ride a horse.
I don't know. You got to make concessions here, Chris.
She told lottery officials that she still hopes to go to school, college, and study photography. So
That's great.
What is she drinking champagne at age 17 for?
18.
He's 18.
18th birthday, so that must be a Canadian
in
thing.
Canada, you can drink at 18.
That I do not know. A Massachusetts woman has filed a federal lawsuit accusing her tenant of using her Martha's Vineyard home to shoot pornographic videos without telling her.
Fantastic.
Lawsuit filed this week says Leah Bassett had no idea when she rented out her home in 2014 it would be used to shoot adult films. Bassett says the filmmakers used almost every room of her home for their porn production purposes,
Did they throw any tarps down?
including her bedroom, sofas, dining room table, and even laundry room appliances.
Nice.
Bassett says the highly disturbing discovery has caused her emotional and psychological distress.
Well, did she have anything in the lease agreement, the rental agreement, that they couldn't make porn movies?
She did not. No.
Okay.
The
Well,
lawsuit,
then what's she complaining about?
lawsuit was filed against the Quebec Canada-based adult film company Mile High Distribution and several individuals. Stephen Roach, an attorney for Mile High, says the matter arose out of a basic landlord-tenant dispute. The allegations in the complaint, he says, are unfounded.
What kind of movies, John?
You think Stormy was involved?
A lot of these movies have a lot of different genres. And they're specialty films. What kind of films were they?
These two, I saw two titles. I won't give the titles, but let's just say it involves maybe 40-year-old women and 18-year-old fellas.
Oh, MILFs. We got MILFs.
We got MILFs and we got students. I was trying to be a little discreet.
We weren't going to say that.
Didn't really work.
Well, you blurted it out because you're watching the game and you're not focused like a laser.
Playing the role of Kenny, Patrick Reusse. Just blurt it out.
I mean, I got a newsman here who had the good sense to edit himself.
Pat, let me give you a tip. Anything you think of, just blurt it out.
No!
That's what I do.
You soon can be doing traffic.
Yes.
Kenny's worked with worse.
You're right. Boy, you're right about that. Oh, my goodness.
Authorities in Florida say a mom accidentally sent her vehicle idling into a pool with her husband and daughter still inside. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post that the Crestview woman was in the car with her husband and daughter when she realized she needed to run back into their apartment about 2 o'clock in the afternoon Tuesday. Sheriff's Office said Mom thought she put the car in park when she ran back into the apartment to get some money. Apparently, it didn't go all the way into park. The car with the man and daughter inside rolled into the apartment complex's pool. They were able to get out of the vehicle safely, no injuries. The sheriff's office joked the incident gave new meaning to the term carpool.
That's funny.
Hey, did you see the outstate Minnesota kid who was taking the driver's test and put it through the driver's test office right off the bat?
Yeah, I had that story actually.
What town was it?
That on the radio.
What town was it?
I don't recall.
Okay,
I don't recall.
Well, it was.
Was it Montevideo?
I don't remember.
I think you're right, Ken.
I was thinking that. You think anybody just snickers at her when she walks down the hall?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
She kind of give the shake of the head and the kind of the little laugh.
Oh, they probably nicknamed her Splash too, something.
Like old Doc Larson in my town, he went through so many storefronts that when people saw him coming, they'd run to the back of the store. It's like, oh God, Doc's got his buzz on. Get the hell back to the storage area.
Nothing will ever top old Harold. Nothing will ever top old Harold Shelkoff, who was the editor emeritus of the St. Cloud Times when I was there, and he's in his 80s. He was a legend up there, but he'd have a few pops. And there was a car dealer right on St. Germain Street, right on the main street.
Yeah.
And he's driving into the sun one day, and he gets the right tire on the left rail where they're unloading the car, and he drives right up to the side of it. And
like James Bond and tips it over?
He's laying on his side and still driving. Still going down the street.
Is it just me, or is everything askew?
And he retired shortly after that.
Also in Florida, a woman awoke to what she believed to be the consequences of a bad dish of General Tso's chicken. Instead, had an unexpected baby in her arms 3 hours later.
What?
Yeah, she didn't know she was pregnant.
What?
Oh, no. 29-year-old Crystal Gail Amerson thought food poisoning was responsible for the stomach pains that woke her up early Sunday, unaware she was actually 37 weeks pregnant.
How she spelled Crystal?
Crystal spelled normal, Crystal. An ambulance got there as the pain escalated. Her son, 19-inch, 5-pound Oliver James, soon entered the world in the back of an ambulance en route to the hospital.
What's the normal weeks of time?
Well,
39,
36,
right
39, right? 39, I think.
How much did she weigh?
Hang on here. A boy is her second child. So
Don't ruin the punchline,
You
Kenny.
think she would know better, wouldn't you?
Yeah, she had to be a 300-pounder.
Emerson,
more than that.
Maybe a 400.
Emerson's
Big girl. Come on.
See, it's only the big girls who wouldn't know, right?
That's asking for decency.
But there's other.
Let's take it easy.
There's
What do you mean? Pat, you got to know you're pregnant.
Yeah, there's other signs besides just
Didn't
a
she want
growing
pickles
belly.
and stuff and ice cream?
How do you not feel
General
that kid?
Tso's chicken.
How do you not feel the kid kicking?
That's a good point, too. Well, if there's a lot of material there.
She want pickles.
Or going to the bathroom every 3 minutes.
How much did she weigh, John?
I don't have that information. However, she said she didn't have any pregnancy symptoms at all, and she hadn't gained much weight.
Maybe it was
recently.
an immaculate conception.
No, she has a fiance, Brian Westerfield. They have one other child.
They figured it out somehow.
What are they saying, Diner? She's not a bright girl.
But she's available.
Julie
Carol,
Dees,
whatever her name was, the hot one. I don't think she's a bright girl.
Julie Descesari, an obstetrician gynecologist, told the Pensacola News Journal, some folks use a method of contraceptive so they think they can't get pregnant, but then that method fails, and sometimes it's just flat out denial in that case. Emerson said she's not sure if she'll be able to eat Chinese food anymore, but she'll give it a shot.
How about pickles?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
13 strikeouts between these two chuckers through 6 innings here. Not much bat swinging by these two teams. Zip in the 7th between the Twins and the Orioles.
What do you got coming up between watching the pitches?
Well, we got Mike Greenberg, who's starting a new TV show for ESPN. He's going to be on a little after 4 o'clock. And then we got Tommy Keegan, the Kansas expert on the Kansas Jayhawks. He's from the Lawrence, Kansas newspaper. And then, a lot of baseball talk, a lot of cat getting 56 points talk.
What's the highest ranked team in the Final Four?
Villanova was the number 2 overall seed, And
but I mean, in the season rankings,
Villanova. Did they end up the year we were rated 1 in the country or 2?
Virginia was 1,
but I don't know if that was.
And Villanova was 2.
Was that the AP rating?
I believe so.
Virginia was the number 1 seed. I know that. So
well,
anyhow,
it's going to be fun Saturday when my Loyola's win.
Oh yeah, that'll be. You got to root for Loyola against the Big Blue.
1500 ESPN is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis.